Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. 1. Mikey Garcia says if he gets past Robert Easter Jr., his next fight, he would love to get some work with Lomachenko for lightweight supremacy. Stay tuned. What up, fight world? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing if you want to become part of the gang. Notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Now, I just got back from Vegas. I was covering the Terrence Crawford versus Jeff Horn fight. Good fight. Now, a person that fought Terrence Crawford in the amateurs, his fight was officially announced. If you stay tuned to the channel, you would have heard months ago on my channel, Ego Rumor Mill, that this fight was coming. It was imminent. And that's Robert Easter Jr., lightweight IBF champion, versus the WBC lightweight champion, Mikey Garcia. Two top names in the division. And this was officially announced on the Leo Santa Cruz Abner Matas 2 card. And they had a face-off with Easter and Mikey Garcia. Big height disparity, but Mikey Garcia knew that going into the fight. Both fighters took it. Bravo to both of those lightweights. Now, they caught up with Mikey Garcia at that particular event, and he had some statements that I want to read and just give my thoughts. Mikey says, we were fighting at 140 pounds, but I always had my mind coming back to lightweight. So he was saying after the Lipinets fight, basically, he knew he was going to come back to lightweight. He's saying an Easter fight, that's the only fight that made sense. It was a unification, and the only fighter available was Robert Easter. He's a champion and the man to beat. Feels great to be back, to finally give my fans here in Southern California a fight. And I get to give them a unification match in the biggest fight of my career to date. So it's interesting to say, he says that Easter fight is the biggest fight of his career. So very interesting, because he's had some pretty big fights, big names, big events, like the Broner fight was obviously a big one, and he's viewing the Easter unification as one of the biggest, probably because of the location too, you know what I mean, the opponent, the fact that he's a champion, the fact that he's undefeated, and it's a unification at home, right? Robert Easter has switched. He's with Kevin Cunningham, I believe, in Florida. They train, and it should be a good fight. That's a real good fight. But Mikey Garcia finally says, I got my fight on July 28th, but there's been a lot of talking about Lomachenko and me over the past year. If I get through Robert Easter Jr., I'd be a unified champion, and the only other fight that makes sense is Vasyl Lomachenko. That's crazy. Robert Easter also talked about fighting Lomachenko, and he says he would fight Lomachenko as well. So, man, lightweight is popping. And this is good because I remember the boxing, the landscape is constantly changing. You look at the current light heavyweight department or division, and you got top names. You got Vodstick, you have Dmitry Bivol, you have Kovalev, you have Marcus Brown, you have Joe Smith Jr., you have Artur Beterbiev, you have Anthony Yard, you know what I mean? But there were times where the light heavyweight division was really kind of stagnant, didn't really have that many top names. And then the same thing with lightweight. I believe when Adrian Broner was at lightweight, there was only a couple names, and one of them was ducking him, Ricky Burns, if you guys remember way back then, didn't want to fight against Adrian Broner at that time. And also Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford left 135. He had a couple fights like the Gamboa fight, I believe Ricky Burns, and a couple others probably at that division. Ray Beltran was at that division, and he had those fights, and then there wasn't really anyone left at the time. But now you look at it, you got Vasyl Lomachenko, who just looked good. You have some up-and-comers like Devin Haney, you know what I mean, who's a talent. A lot of people in the division. I think Teofimo Lopez, you have Robert Easter, of course, you have just a ton of guys. Richard Comey, Mikey Garcia. It's cracking, and they're trying to fight each other. Lomachenko obviously just had a surgery, and he said he's not fighting Mikey this year because he's probably going to fight maybe a Ray Beltran, or more so a lesser opponent than a Mikey Garcia, just out of respect, and so he can give the fans his all. Coming off of an injury, he doesn't feel like it would be wise for him to just jump in there with a Mikey Garcia. But first, we got to get past this Mikey Garcia versus Robert Easter. Hell of a fight. I'm so glad that they are fighting. And this is going to show me a lot about both fighters, how bad they want it. Two undefeated fighters. Somebody's O has to go, and it's two champions. So this is a great fight, great timing. It's a backstory with Broner losing and Broner being real cool with Robert Easter Jr., even though they have their own independent careers. So I'm looking forward to this all the way. And the implications for the winner are huge, because the winner obviously can go on to possibly fighting Lomachenko for all the marbles if Lomachenko fights Ray Beltran and gets past him. So a lot of different ways you can mix and match and predict these fights. I like Mikey Garcia, man. Mikey Garcia, ever since he got past the Top Rank drama and he got past that legal issue that kept him on the sideline over 2 years, it's like that woke him up. Not saying he was asleep before, but he was already doing great things in the 120-pound divisions. But when someone takes something away from you, like let's say your freedom, and you go to jail, I'm sure you appreciate little simple things like being able to go to 7-Eleven or the gas station or the mall or something, a movie if you want, because you no longer have freedom. And I think that's kind of what happened with Mikey Garcia. Him being on the sideline and watching everyone else fight and achieve belts and stuff, it made him realize when he got the chance that he was going to come back strong and come back full throttle. And that's what he's been doing. He's been on a tear. He knocked out a champion for the belt, Dejan Zlaticanin, a big puncher at the time. I was at the fight. He stretched him, right? He fought Broner, moved up in weight, said, yo, I'll move up for Broner. That's a big fight. And then he beat him. I was at the fight, right? And then recently he fought Sergey Lipinets in Texas, moved back up to 140, where he could have just stayed and camped out at lightweight and took a easier test. You know what I mean? Someone who doesn't have a 70+% knockout ratio at a higher weight. But he took on that test. Now he's unifying with Robert Easter. Then he's saying he wants Lomachenko. I mean, these are the things in boxing that fans wish for. So you got to give Mikey full credit for this, because like I said, he's been coming out guns blazing. And you also have to give Robert Easter a lot of credit. He's been calling for this. He got the opportunity. I didn't hear one word. I didn't hear a chirp about Robert Easter demanding a bigger split or more money. They handled all that shit behind closed doors, got it done, and the fans have a great fight to look forward to at the Staples Center in Los Angeles, July 28th. And like I said, if Mikey is able to get past Easter Jr., him and Lomachenko just grows even bigger. Or if Robert Easter beats Mikey, then him and Lomachenko. I mean, because if Robert Easter beats Mikey, Mikey's a top talent, and he would blemish his record. So either guy would be in line for a Lomachenko. That's what the fans would want to see. Let me know your thoughts. Mikey says he wants that Loma smoke. Who would win that fight, Mikey or Loma, and why? Make sure you smash the like button as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.